But I will say that, and I know, Dean, you probably did too, I rewatched Star 80 last night. I found it online.
Yeah, yes, I did. I did watch it. Yes.
Oh, dear God.
That movie. I'll tell you what, no movie makes you feel quite the way that movie does. Because, when it's first starting out, it's got some elements of sort of like a TV movie of the week kind of a little bit, but then all of that stuff sort of slowly switches over, and I mean, first of all, there's no movie out there that makes you feel as grimy. I mean, that's got to be one of the sleaziest movies that's ever been made.
The movie's about sleaze, and there's a couple of things that confuse me, or that I'm just curious about. I'm curious why Hugh Hefner objected to it, to his portrayal in it, because it's innocuous. I mean, there's nothing obscene or upsetting about that portrayal whatsoever. I don't know what was so demeaning to him about that portrayal.
Well, I can kind of see it because the movie does make some sort of correlation between Paul Schneider and somebody like Hugh Hefner, because really they're really two sides of the same coin. Only one is working under a multi-million-dollar or billion-dollar operation, and the other one's barely making ends meet, doing his wet T-shirt shows and his Polaroids of Dorothy Stratton.
Well, then that's different. Because that's the second thing I'm curious about. Because the actual Cliff Robertson portrayal of him, he does seem paternal and genuine.
Mm-hmm.
But the movie does, like you said, it draws a parallel between his Snyder's handling of Dorothy Stratton as a possession,
mm-hmm.
and how that mirrors the whole Playboy philosophy.
Right. I mean, he has her as a possession, but they have her as an adoption, kind of. That's that whole family. We're all a family here. Well,
mm-hmm.
it's basically Hugh Hefner kind of adopting Dorothy, and even you can even go so far as to say that he's pimping Dorothy too, because he's
mm-hmm.
You could say, that pimping is a harsh word for what he does, but you could also say that he's representing Dorothy. But he does pimp her out to some, at least as far as the movie goes. I can't say in real life, but as far as the movie goes, he does pimp her out to some low budget producers that mistreat her. And then finally pimps her out to the Peter Bogdanovich character played by Roger Rees. So you could kind of say that there's really strong elements there, and I'm sure that Hefner found.
Yeah, but at the same time, I do think that that's a load of BS too, because building a career in movies is a bit different from seeing from what how Snyder treated her, or how he looked upon her. I mean, she wanted a career in movies, and they gave her the contacts to do so. There's a lot of artistic license in that paradigm.
I don't feel like the movie overplays that aspect of comparing those two characters. I don't think that it makes it like the center of attention.
Right.
My guess is that that Hefner just would have preferred to not see any kind of movie done about Dorothy Stratton's life.
I believe so too. But I did read the Death of a Playmate article last night, on which the movie's based. That was written in November of 1980, and the murder actually happened in August of 1980.
Mm-hmm.
So I read the article, and the movie is really close to the article. I mean, all the little personality details that she writes about, and the little side incidences, they're all in Fosse's movie. And this is another fascinating thing. Dean, I told you about it, but I didn't tell you, Jerry. At this year's Sarasota Film Festival, they have a couple of stars that are showing up, but two of the stars that are doing Q&As are Mariel Hemingway and Peter Bogdanovich.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote the festival director, and I said, I don't know if you've thought about this, but isn't there bad blood between the two of them? Because Bogdanovich absolutely vehemently opposed that movie. And then I read something in Fosse's biography that said Fosse was screening the movie, and Bogdanovich sat in and didn't say anything when it was over.
Mm.
Wow.
He didn't complain or anything at that venue. And here's another creepy thing. In Star 80, the movie, Paul Snider's apartment, that's his actual apartment. So where they shoot the end, where he kills her, that's where he really killed her.
Mm.
I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a set. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes it even strangely more disturbing in a lot of ways. Wow,
it really does.
I mean, watching it again this time, I already knew that I love Eric Roberts in it. I just think he's tremendous in that film. But I was paying more attention to Mariel Hemingway this time, and noticing how good she is in it too, because at the time that movie was made, I mean, she does a really good job in the film of portraying somebody who is naive and who has carried her small town ways all the way from Canada to L.A. and always seems very genuine all the way through. And I thought that was a real achievement for Mariel Hemingway, because she was not naive when she made this movie. She had already had a major career as a model and as an actress. Had already been nominated for an Oscar for Manhattan in '79. So I thought her portrayal of Dorothy was really magnificent, and I think that it's something that might have escaped me, having watched it before, because I think when you're watching it, you kind of get caught up in Eric
the power of Eric Roberts. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she is great in the movie, and it's only when Dorothy Stratton begins to assert herself that puts her in danger. That she finally starts to assert herself and claim her own life in a way.
Yeah.
It's tragic. But that movie tanked, and it was the critics were kind of vociferous in their negativity of it, and I think it crushed Fosse, and people, even if he had lived, people doubted he would have made another movie after that.